We should change it to bounce, 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 cow. Hey, Kevin Suker.
I didn't realize this was your platform to be creating vocal jingles and singing them all over the top of our show.
You created lavender, and that was your thing. But when I do it, it's not good enough, right?
No, your thing is great enough. You just need to produce it.
How is it being a selfish, self-centered, narcissistic frontman of a show?
Is it like you're looking in the mirror? This is amazing. It's
Oh,
almost like
I was actually looking at me. I wasn't talking to you.
I was going to say, yeah, why don't you answer? Go ahead.
Well, when I check in with myself in the morning and I'm brushing my teeth, I always look into my eyes and I'm like, hey, Miguel, that's my little inner child. My mom used to call me Miguel. And I say, how you doing today? And I want you to know I'm here for you today and it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And I do it pretty almost every day. I miss a few here and there, but like checking in. And so if we were to do a check-in with you, Kevin, I know you've had a lot of, Dora's on. If you got a lot going on, and what's for you? You're getting ready to go on tour. You got one more Vegas show at the Venetian on Thursday, Docksiders at Venetian, and then you are hitting the road for the entire month of July. And not a lot of people know about the logistics that are involved in that. There are times in our careers and a lot of artists' careers where people are handling all that stuff. But right now, where you're at right now with this particular situation is you're booking the rooms and the hotels and organizing just all of the logistics, all the touring stuff that has to happen. How are you doing 2 days before a local show and then getting ready to leave? How are you feeling? Oh, shit.
Let me just crack this open real quick as I get ready to answer.
Generosity. Kevin's response to that question is sponsored by Generosity. Kevin's tour is sponsored by Generosity. They will have 1,000 cases on their tour bus on this tour. There you go. Generosity.
Thank you for your deep probing question. I like that about our friendship is that you ask me how I'm doing, right? Which I think is a wonderful way to, share the spotlight that is oftentimes shining on you. And I really appreciate that because it is hard being your friend living in the shadows, quite honestly.
It's because I have hair. That's your problem.
Is that what it is? I have hair, but it's just covered by my shirt. It's on my back.
Yeah.
I just bought stock in this new mousse for back hair. It's really good. It keeps my hair in check under the shirt and it lays flat. But no, you're right. I do a lot of work on behalf of the Docksiders. And we're in an interesting phase. Like when we reopened the show in Vegas, I had to kind of pause some of the relationships that we had when we toured because we made a commitment to stay a little bit longer in Vegas this summer than we had in years past. What it did is some of those guys that did some of the pre-work and the advancing work and the tour bus booking and the production advances and the hotel rooms and the air travel, it kind of fell on me. So last week was a very tough week. This I've had a 7 days of difficult stuff, right? There's been some challenges with some touring personnel that we've had to kind of shore up very quickly. But the show must go on. At the end of the day, the audience doesn't know the difference whether or not we've struggled or not to get there. And we're super excited. We're playing this huge outdoor amphitheater in Decatur, Illinois this weekend. About 8,000 seats. It's great. It's our second time there. We were there a couple years ago. And we've got a wonderful show at our room here at 1923 live at the Venetian before we fly out on Friday.
Blah, 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 blah. How are you doing, Kevin?
You know what? If you would have asked me this yesterday, which you did, remember what we talked about yesterday? Yesterday, I was in a world of shit. Let's just keep it real. Today, there are some things that have fallen in place that have taken some of the stressors off me. So today, Michael, I'm doing much better.
So circumstances externally, we all have life stuff. Both you and I have chosen to be in a business that comes with a lot of moving targets at all times. The uncertainty in what we do is high, and then to execute what we do is a lot to put on. And yesterday you put out some fire, some stuff was on the burner. You were clearly stressed out yesterday. Now today You've got some resolution on a few things. There are still moving targets. There are still going to be circumstances. I'd like to know how you're feeling today, and you can go like so emotionally. You appear to be even keeled, but you're that guy that just steady as it goes, keeps it all together on the outside. I think that what I'm asking you is how are you feeling inside right now, today, in this moment? Feelings, man. Talk about feelings.
I would look, can I sum up my feelings with a picture?
Yeah, of course. There's
Can I
only
use a picture to show what my feelings are?
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's light, happy, joyful, fun,
Cheery,
cheer.
carefree, jovial, clearly overweight, but yet all encompassing, me, right?
Actually, you
Proud of who I am.
I do wanna comment on your trimming. I know you've put some effort into that, and you actually look really great. I mean, your head's still the same size, but everything else seems like
Right.
you're getting some efficacy from the issue what you're the disciplines you're doing,
The
which is
the coolest part about having a giant cranium like I have is it makes my body look smaller, which is a little bit, I'll take any chance and chance again. Hey, did I we haven't told people the news yet, have we?
what news is that, Kevin?
The news, like with all we're in political season, right? And without getting too political, I think today we're going to use this as a launch pad for our campaign.
Why the fuck not?
That's our slogan, right? With the two choices that we already might have, I think Shapiro, Sucre, why the fuck not? You can pick up one of these shirts on
Yeah.
our website for $49.99. Every penny supports the Michael Shapiro, Kevin Sucre campaign for
Why
2024. What?
why do I have to be president? Why don't you be president? I'll be vice president. We all know that's an easier job. Why are you putting the president on me? I mean, I can't do that.
Well, I mean, listen, you're the president. Notoriety gives, which is a wonderful thing. You've got the experience of holding a presidential chair, so I figure, it's just natural, and I have to do less bullshit. So, like, it's on you, right?
Can you imagine that, like, Putin comes into the Oval Office? Hey, how you doing? Listen, man, how are you feeling today? Yeah, I think it'll work well.
I think it would be great, right?
Yeah, and I'll get a mega horn when people are protesting. How's everybody feeling today? Let's talk about emotionally, spiritually, physically. All that's. Oh, we got our first voter. Okay, excellent.
We have one vote already here in Las Vegas.
That's enough to get.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We have to get on the ballot. We got to just write it. That should be our thing. For the next 5 months, we should get as many people to write Shapiro Sucre on the write-in ballot in Nevada.
Please don't. I don't want to be on anybody's radar in that world.
Right.
I would like to. I've learned to fly under the radar as much as possible.
How are you feeling is the most important question. I know you've just recently gone through some new stuff too, right?
New stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some new people in your life, some new
Joe and I got we got a new therapist, and we're big advocates for therapy. Me being through 5 treatment centers for drug addiction, and then all the therapy that goes with that. But when I met Joe, one of the things we had in common is we like to do introspective work. We like to try to better our lives and better our ability and how we show up in life, becoming more responsive as opposed to reactive. And we got a therapist 3 months before we got married, right? Which is unusual. Usually people go to therapy when they're in crisis, but we believe in going when there is no crisis, because then you can sort of create a really beautiful foundation and baseline. Because crisis is a coming. You know that it's a coming. That's just life. And so we just started with a new therapist who's amazing. She deals with emotional family therapy. So it's deals with it's mostly root cause stuff, right to the root cause stuff, which is hard to walk through sometimes because you have to go back in time. But it's been really great. We did a couples session. Then this week we each did individual sessions, and now next week we get back together and do a couples again. And then I like to have a third person that is not in the issue or in the relationship, so they're not emotionally attached. And if they're really good at what they do, it's incredible what can happen, and it creates more intimacy. Look, I'm a dick. You got the banner? Put the banner up really quick.
Listen, I was envious that you like to be in the threesome. My wife and I aren't into that sort of thing, but I really envy the fact that you guys. I always feel like someone's left out of the threesome. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'll put it there. It is. So everybody knows that I have a dicky side, and my wife knows all only too well. And when I get speaking about stress and circumstantial stuff that's going on, even before a show, I'm nervous. I got a lot of things going on. Get your finger off the button. When life gets hard, that's truly the test of our spiritual condition, right? It's easy to be all spiritual when the sun's shining and everything's going our way. How are we as human beings when we're under duress, when life is challenging? And that's a good gauge that I use for myself. And I thank you, Patrick. Yeah, yeah. I believe in it. I don't know if it works, but I do believe in it. Um, Thanks, Barbara. Look at all the love. So,
It's great. It's great. It's great. I do. I love both you and Joe very dearly. And I love, we're privileged enough to be in your lives and be around you, semi frequently. And I love the fact that you guys are invested, right? Because life, you're right. Life is a series of strange curveballs. I'll make a baseball. I'll make a baseball metaphor, right, or an analogy where you never know what pitch is coming at you, and you got to stand in the batter's box and just take your best swing. And we're human, and we fail, and that's what our nature is. And it's great to meet people that understand that the failure doesn't have to necessarily mean to the end, right? I just recently went through something with an acquaintance where there was no grace paid to some failures and some communications that could have been better. Took ownership in those communications, and sometimes you just run into assholes, right? And sometimes the life just throws you the asshole pitch, and you have to let it roll past the catcher and move on. But congratulations. I love the fact that you guys are investing in yourselves. When you invest in yourselves, only you reap the benefit.
oh, very nice. Write that down. That's excellent. So yeah, I feel that we gravitate toward people who want to do work on themselves too. There are a lot of wonderful people in any town, but in this town especially. But you can kind of smell it. You can smell dysfunction. You can smell takers, if you will. And I just want to be around people who give. And um, we happen to have a real giver coming on the show today, and I'm
Do
super
we
excited.
ever?
Yeah,
Right?
and I just I'm you and I have been waiting kind of last minute to get guests, right? We're not we procrastinate on so many things in life. By the way, that's a Shapiroism. I have that trademark. We procrastinate, meaning that we take care of all the things that can be taken care of ahead of time because we know there's going to be all kinds of stuff that comes up that you cannot do ahead of time. So it lowers the stress level. So when it comes to this show, we never intended for this to be some huge thing, and we don't care about the numbers or who's watching. It's just a conversation between two bros. And so along that line, we don't put a lot of stock in procuring a guest for the next episode. And so I called this person yesterday, and she's out of town, and she agreed to be on the show. I have a lot of favorite entertainers in town and singers. Um, Christine is somebody sits at a little bit different level, and you were at the show, her last show. You were there, and um, I, I don't know how you were moved. You were sitting closer. You had better seats than me, and I'm back a little ways. But like I am just moved by this woman, and there's so many reasons for that, which we'll save for bringing her on. Do you want to bring her on? Can we bring her on? Is everybody ready to bring her on? Do we have our full 8 people watching? Hold on.
Yeah, we're close. Can I do just a little bit of an introduction?
Oh, please do. Yes.
Christine's earliest work as an entertainer was at Disney. In the live action shows, she got to originate the role of Pocahontas, including doing the early commercials and print work. It was amazing experience for her. She recently was in Follies, and musicals have always been a passion of hers, and she was honored to play a lead role in Follies at Aliante in 2024. You and I went to that, and she was fantastic, a shining, shining star. Her favorite feeling is being able to relate to her audience on a personal level. She's fantastic. The spaces in between the songs, she's a master of as well. I was really blown away at the last show at Myron's that we were at. Her cabaret shows have allowed her to do this, and she's forever grateful to the venues that have made it happen, like Myron's at the Smith Center and the Nevada Room. So without further ado, let's take a little look into our current guest today, Christine Shebeck.
Let's go.
My mama done when I was in pigtails. My mama done told me so. Flame, not a sign, it's just a line enough to keep you on your grind. Need to sing with all the voices of the mountain. Need to paint with all the colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, our favorite singer today on the program, Christine Shebeck.
The only singer on the female guest on the program.
You caught me. I have to say that every time we bring a singer on the program. It's our favorite singer on the program because you are amazing. First of all, and I told you this. Like, I just need to say something before we get into you and your inspiration and your emotional attachment to your art. This last show that we saw, Christine did an arrangement of Rainbow Connection that brought me to tears. I was goosebumping, and when you hit that break, and then let me tell you something. It's that sort of emotional awareness that a lot of artists sometimes struggle with capturing live, let alone on a recorded thing. But your show was brilliant. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I have such a huge team behind these shows. First of all, those arrangements, those moments where you get that space to reach out and grab the audience. Bill Zappia is a master of creating those moments. And when I feel like I want a moment there and I'm like, can we have a break there? He doesn't just go, oh yeah, we're going to do a break. He maneuvers the instrumentation in such a way that it's just amazeballs. And as far as, structuring the show, my partner, Megan Belk, and we're very conscientious about how, and we had a lot of loss prior to the show. Like within a month of the show, both Megan and Bill lost their mothers.
Oh no.
So I was grateful we even had a show. And so if you ask Megan, because we're perfectionists about, a lot of us are about our shows and stuff. If you ask Megan, she'd be like, there were so many things we could have done better. But I was very grateful for what we were able to put out. And it was a little more raw, as far as structurally than some of our other stuff. But I really had a wonderful time during that show. I was more comfortable than I've ever been in one of those shows. Yeah.
So do we, and that's one of the things that we love about you. And I've seen several of your shows, and you maybe you felt that way on that show, but generally that's something that you bring, and that's the asset. And I know that as Barbara Brighton, you got a fan.
Oh, thank you, Barbara.
That's an understatement, Barbara. Like what Kevin said, you move people with it, and I'm a critic. When I go to shows, I tend to be on the critical side. I'm just paying attention to what that didn't happen, and I don't do that with you. You do your job with. It works for me that I am checked out from all the issues of life, and I'm in the room with you, and you do that to everybody that's in the room, and I think that's why you're having so much success with it, and it's just beautiful.
Wow.
I'm
sorry.
Not to mention your instrument is just.
Oh, thank you.
I'm mad at you.
Well, isn't that the goal though? Like for me, I've kind of, we go through our whole lives trying to figure out where we fit, in this craft that we love doing, or trying, what style, but for me, it was always, people always ask me, what kind of music do you like singing the most? And for me, whatever I can touch people with, whatever I can feel moved or move others with, I realize that that's really where I'm happiest, where you can give people a place to forget about their worries for a bit and just relate to something like, hey, whoa, I'm going through that right now, or that, where was I when this came out? And she's kind of helping me go there. That's an honor, it's really cool. And yeah, it's a privilege.
I'm gonna continue the kudos. In my career, as I've managed artists and worked with people that were on the Idol programs and on the voice programs, a lot of times singers don't have the intuition to necessarily choose the right songs that are right for their voice, right? There are people that choose
Yeah.
songs that they love or that they mean something to, and they feel that they want to cover or pay tribute to that particular song. But sometimes
Yeah.
those songs just are not right for the instrument. You guys, you and your team do a phenomenal job choosing songs that brilliantly showcase your instrument. And to me, those are the little details that separate good from great. So kudos to you guys and your team from choosing those right songs.
What they don't tell you behind the scenes is, and I try and tell, I'm going to be doing some mentoring programs with Positively Arts. I really believe in giving back and
Yeah.
helping kids out totally. But when I'm talking to young people about that, you can't be married to something all the time. You have to be willing. What people don't see behind the scenes is the things that I was really trying to hold on to. And Megan's kind of looking at me and finally we go through it and you have to go, this one's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working. We have to cut it. So you guys get to see that finished product, and you guys have this process, I'm sure, when you're putting together your show and you're structuring your set list, and you realize this one's not working. Once you get it up, it's not fitting it's not sounding.
But you're stretching into a part of the art that takes a lot of musical maturity too. Like I remember
Yeah.
being a younger artist where I thought that I was infallible in certain aspects of what I did, but what I really probably needed was somebody to advise me that or at least help me see that maybe there was a smarter way, or I was too tight in holding onto the things that I wanted to do. I like the fact, as you mature a little bit, and I feel like I'm at that place now with my band and the people that I trust around me musically, that I can listen if there's something that isn't really working, and or they give me the leeway to try it, and if the audience doesn't react, then it's like, aha, we told you, like that's not working.
Yeah. I've gone against my intuition and said, no, we can make this work, and fallen flat on my face. And I think we all have to, fail in those moments and realize, okay, I got to listen to my gut on that, or I have to listen to my team on that. But that just comes with experience. You fall on your face a few times and you start listening to your gut and your team and knowing what you need to cut.
I envy both of you because you both have this really unique ability. And you'll understand where I'm going with this. Michael, you created original arrangements of these classic Vegas songs
Yeah.
that are brilliant and unique onto your artistry, right? Like you have inserted your artistry into your show, yet you're covering other songs. Christine, you do the same thing with Bill and your team, whatever it is. You've found ways to stay true to the original songs, but have created unique arrangements to make them yours. My current vehicle, the Docksiders, we are trying to recreate songs that sound exactly like the record. We're not using my production skills from the point of, let me see where I can take these songs. And at times I feel like part of me would like to experiment and do something a little different, but then I also have to teeter the line of giving the audience what they're expecting to hear when they come to the show. So I love the fact that you both get to do that.
Well, and Kevin, your craft is doing them well. I mean, it's even some of the original artists that recorded those songs don't sound as good as the way you guys deliver them. It's not easy to reproduce some of these recordings. So you have that. That's what you're putting in Docksiders. Christine, one of my favorite parts of the show. There was lots of favorites, but to see your brothers, both your brothers are performers, and then that Megan's, your partner Megan, her daughter is a background vocalist, and her brother is one of your
brother. Yeah.
I didn't know
that entire family is so talented. My God, her oldest daughter Andy is an artist. Her freehand drawing. Everything. Everything. She macrames like lampshades. Like, I'm serious. This girl, that entire family is so gifted.
Can she make Michael some hot pants?
Possibly.
Some
Possibly.
macrame hot pants. That'd be
She's
great.
working on some knit, Speedos, if you
So
guys want for
I'm into that.
summer season. For
I'm
summer
into it.
season.
Ooh, nice and cottony.
Can I transition that you're talking about her and her artistry? So you mentioned Positively Arts, and I had
Yes.
the wonderful experience of meeting Polita, and
Oh, she's amazing.
I went and did a tour with Ken Henderson because with Notoriety Gives, we want to help their program.
Yeah.
So she mentioned you, and you mentioned it in the show. So tell me, will you share with the audience what drives that for you to give back? Because you're a giver, you're one of the people I love for that, one of those reasons. But what is your involvement in the program? What have you done in the program? And tell people a little bit about the program itself.
So my involvement, well, Positively Arts, they give a forum for children of all backgrounds to learn all aspects of performing, behind the scenes, in front of the camera, on stage, singing competitions, giving them confidence in performance. And so they get other experienced performers around town to mentor. So the Get Launched was kind of like their little version of The Voice, or not The Voice, like American Idol type thing. And each kid had a mentor that worked with them throughout the whole show to the end. And I had heard about it. I had Polita and I had chatted just little bits, and if I'm being honest, I had dreamt of starting something very similar myself. But then I thought, she's already doing it. Let me get involved with this. So it was in the back of my mind, but I was kind of thrown into it. Clint called me one day, Clint Holmes, and I'm eating with my husband, and I just text him, "Hey Clint, it's really loud here. I'll call you after." He called me right back. I was like, "Oh, I better take this." So I go outside and he goes, "Christine, I need you to adjudicate this Get Launched for me tomorrow morning. I have a cruise ship and they made my flight too early, so I won't be able to be there." I was like, "Sure. Okay, no problem. Would love to. It's helping kids out. All right." So I show up, and it was life-changing, transformational for me. Seeing all these kids, getting to give commentary and help them along the way, watching them put everything on the line, all these people volunteering their time to help these children from every walk of life. And I just wanted to be part of it. And I had a Myron's coming up. So I text Polita and I say, "Hey, what if one of the finalists, we offer them a spot in my show at Myron's?" And she goes, "Are you kidding me?" So this was for the November show. And I said, "No, I'm not kidding. I want to do it." So we narrowed it down from some of the top 20, and a little girl really resonated me, little Miss Ava. And I asked her to be in my show.
How old
And
is she?
she was, I think, 10 at the time.
Yeah.
10, and she kicked butt on the song Quiet from Matilda. Oh my goodness. So we had her do that in my November show at Myron's. And so Polita reached out to me. I said, "Hey, I want to do more. Let's do workshops." And they had a bunch of Positively Arts kids at my last show. And then Polita let me know. She goes, "Would you want to be one of the permanent judges on the panel?" And I said, "I'd love to." I just feel like the reason I like to be a part of these things is every one of us has had someone help us along the way.
Yeah.
And when you're younger is when you're, a sponge, and you're vulnerable, and they just have so much social media and crap pushed in their faces. They need human connection with someone who truly cares about them and help them along the way. And any way I can give back. And in this, it's a very public thing. I kind of like to do things where you help and nobody knows you helped,
Yeah.
it's just easier.
Sorry for
Yeah.
the spotlight. Yeah.
No, but
I
this, it's
appreciate
public. I'm going to be all over because
Yeah.
part of bringing attention to this cause is local people who are performers bringing that attention, and I'm happy to do it. So exciting. These kids are so talented.
Kevin, this program, their campus is off of Sunset in Arville, and it's in warehouse buildings. That it's completely, like Christine was saying, they do the production behind the scenes. They do podcasts. They teach them how to do all the roles. And Polita she's interesting because she's a performer. She's a former dancer, singer, and she got into this. She's got a background in education, right? She's got, I think, maybe a master's in education, but she's also into neuroscience and psychology. So she figured out that if you test with these kids, when they're the way they learn when they're doing the arts It opens
Yeah.
up all these gateways. And I remember that when I would learn algebra in 7th grade, I'm like, this is stupid. We're never going to use this. If a teacher would have said to me, listen, Michael, you're never going to use this, yes, but it's the ability to learn these formulas. It's the ability, what you're learning and learning it is something that will apply to all walks of life. And these kids don't even realize the life skills that they are receiving and learning and putting into real play.
Oh yeah.
Now they're having a blast. That place looks
Mhm.
so fun. The kids were going every, they're out for
Yeah.
summer school. It was like a joyful, it was like Disneyland, Pocahontas.
Yes.
Okay, so it was.
Wow.
You gotta go, Kevin. You gotta check this place out and support.
Wow.
I love that you do
So
that.
cool.
Thank you for being you.
So cool.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Positively Arts.
Yeah, they're the best. I don't know. I think we should all. I wish I had more people mentoring me when I was younger. So
It worked out pretty good the way it was. So yeah.
just
Do you,
got kicked in the teeth a few times, but good life
Speaking of
experience. We're Gen X. We're all Gen X here, right? So we all kind of rough and tumble. We drank from the hose.
we did.
We almost drank from the toilet. We're not going to mention who.
We rode in the back of a station wagon without a seatbelt.
Or a pickup truck, open bed pickup truck.
Right?
Who had a child seat for the car back in 1970 something?
My mom had me in her lap.
That's right.
I had one, but it had my arms were restrained in a straitjacket. Yeah. So your brothers are also great performers. And so what was that like growing up? So can you share the ages of your brothers and what's the difference in age?
Well, we're all 4 years apart. So the youngest just had a birthday in June. He's 44. Jason just turned 48 in June. And then I don't turn my next age. Well, you can do the math. I'm 52 in September.
So when you guys were younger, are you doing family? You guys were always doing music?
God,
yeah. Do you have video of all that stuff?
Oh my, okay. So I'm at a family reunion right now and my brothers are like, they brought out old videotape where dad was younger than we are right now. And we're singing. See, when it started, it's been nostalgic because we lost my dad a few years ago, but when it started, it was me, my mom, and my dad because I wanted to sing. And my dad had been in a band in the 70s and they used to back up the Drifters and the Shirelles. My dad was a classically trained guitarist. He sang a lot. And so it was me, my mom, and my dad singing at like Elks Lodge. And then Jason goes, well, hey, I want to sing. And my brother Johnny started as well. And we've been singing since we were little, since I think Johnny was 9, Jay was 13. I started at 14, but singing together since they were that age. But I've been getting paid for it since I was about 14. And then we always call ourselves the Mexican Von Traps because that's what we were. We were playing everywhere.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to grow up, and I'm sure. And it's funny with siblings' voices, the way they work, the instruments work together. It's spectacular.
Oh yeah, loud households, loud house. I don't know how my mom did it. Holy crap! It's so
You ever
loud.
You ever hear of a band called the Bee Gees? They were family.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, they sang. They were really good singers. Yeah,
they were a mariachi act, right?
Yeah,
they were.
They're mariachis.
Christine,
go ahead, Kevin.
Sorry, Christine. You have another show that you're planning on a little bit later this year, right?
Or soundtracks?
Yes. It's not soundtracks this time. It's going to be a super intimate. It's probably me, Bill Zappia, and some percussion and background vocalists. That's it. And we're going to do that in October. It's called Soul Serenade. October 29th.
Is that at Myron's?
At Myron's, yeah. But I have Notoriety gives on August. Let's see, it's that Tuesday, August. Let me see.
Second Tuesday.
Yeah, so that's on August 13th, Tuesday, August 13th. And I know Clint is one of my guests. My brother Jason, he's always a show when Jason's coming. And then I've got a couple other surprise guests, but I cannot say it.
Jason's a bit of a ham, huh? You got a little ham in him.
Oh my God. Jason is we always say when my dad passed away, he took over the cornball.
Yeah.
Want some peas with that corn. I love that he can be that and then he can get on stage and just completely mesmerize you.
I love this. Jason has
He
he's got
does the
tremendous
sideburns.
sideburns, and we were like,
Yeah.
"What's up, bro?" Because it's
Yeah.
one of
Well,
those.
he just got hired by a couple of these chapels to sing as Elvis, and now he's getting ordained, so he's
Oh,
gonna be officiating too.
very cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Christine, give
Yeah.
me your top 2 favorite songs you've ever performed.
Oh. Okay, I love.
Wow, dude, that was a hard one, man. Why did you do that? God,
I love how every single time you're like, oh, that was so hard. Right when you're asking her a question about a song, she likes to say, I love how you blame it on me
here's
every time.
hold on. Here's what it is. I was curious to know. I'm in with you. I want to know the answer to that question, just like our viewers do. And your timing is impeccable. We got burned last week because our guest actually got the answer out. But like that woman, no, she deserved it. You're right. Good job. She's great. I'm so
No, I mean, what's crazy about all of this is that she's on a family vacation.
yeah.
She's on vacation, and she made time to spend with us today to talk about her artistry, and you just bump her straight out of the gate like
I
that.
sold her $5,000. She's going to donate it to charity. It's all good. We're all good. She's happy. What an honor to have her on the show, just like our previous guest too. We've had some really amazing people on the show, Kevin. It's been a fun part of our podcast, and probably the highlight. It's definitely not our painting, which is tough.
It's not talking to me, right? Like you don't
No,
enjoy just sitting here chatting with me. You like the guests, right?
And hold on, we got Murray Sawcheck. Oh my God, my phone's not on. Murray, turn your phone off, will you? Turn your phone off. All right. Listen, Kevin, you're a cocksucker. All right, there.
Wow.
Is it true that you actually put a banner up that used the C word in it, but you spelled it with a K, thinking it's less offensive? All right. Here's the magic. All right, bye-bye.
Murray, I can't believe you used my Hebrew name. That was incredible. It was incredible. It was great.
Yeah, we got to get that prick on the show at some point, but he'll disappear very quickly. That's what he does. All right, well, you got a big week. You got your show Thursday. You got your tour happening. You got your personnel. Thanks for being vulnerable with me and the audience and talking about how you truly feel. And I got to go, man. Love your body, Larry. Are you going to hang up on me now? You're going to hang up on me, aren't you? Don't do it. Don't do it. Let me ask you something. My hands are here, by the way. Are we already off? No, we're on still. You never know when we're going to be hung up. He's going to hang up. Now you can't do it because I'm drawing attention to it. Kevin, really, what's the first town I can't do it. I can't do it to you.